everyone, it's Lana from Lana Under Pressure, and as you can see, I finally got a hold of the Instant Omni 9-in-1 Toaster Oven Air Fryer. And so I thought in this video we could go ahead and unbox it together, start it up, take a look at the different modes, maybe do a quick guide on how it works, and also I'm going to go ahead and do a comparison for you towards the end of the Vortex and put it next to the Omni so that you can kind of see the differences between the two to help you decide which one you want to get, or like me, end up with both. So this is what it looks like once you've taken it out of the box and taken it out of the packaging. Now, normally with an unboxing, I would show you on camera me taking it out. However, I'm only 5 foot tall and I don't have anyone here to help me today. So it was a really big box, and yeah, the video of that is like a bloopers reel. So what I did do, I will say though, it did have styrofoam on the outside. However, what I found and what I really liked was, unlike the Vortex, all of the accessories were packaged outside of the Omni. So that means there was no styrofoam inside. Now with the Vortex, that came with all the accessories inside covered in styrofoam. And what would happen is, if you didn't clean it out before you started it up, sometimes the little pieces of styrofoam would stick to the heating element, so that when you started using it, it would heat up the styrofoam and it would have this really horrible smell if you accidentally hadn't cleaned it before you started it. And that was a big issue that a lot of people were having. And the Omni though, because it doesn't have anything styrofoam and everything was packaged outside, you don't have to worry about that. So that was really great. Now this is what it looks like when you take it out of the box and take it out of the packaging. And my initial reaction really is, it's a very nice machine. I think it looks really nice with the stainless steel. I really like the fact that it has the turning knobs instead of the buttons, because I think this will help, it'll help you cycle through the time and temperature a lot faster than with the Vortex that has the buttons up and down. One thing I did notice though was on the Walmart app and also online, when it showed the Omni and it showed a picture of it, it showed that it was all stainless steel completely, including the handle. Now, I guess I didn't notice on the box, but I noticed now that I've taken it out that the handle is actually plastic. So if you're expecting it to have an all stainless steel look, that might be something that you might want to consider. Now I know that in a few months they're going to be coming out with the Omni Plus, and maybe that one has a stainless steel handle the way the picture shows. I'm not sure what the discrepancy is from the picture to what we have, but you know, that's something to think about. Another thing that I noticed that I kind of don't like, and it's one thing I didn't like about the Vortex, was the cord. The cord may be a little longer than the Vortex, but it's still kind of short, and I don't know why. That might be something that Instapot might want to think about, because that's something that I've noticed with almost all of their appliances, is the cords are always so short. Moving on to the accessories that it comes with, it does have the rotisserie function, just like the Vortex, which is great. And it comes with this little rotisserie handle to take it in and out when it's hot, which I've used on the Vortex and I really, really, really like it. So that's great that it has that. It has the rotisserie spit and the tines, just like the Vortex, and I've used it in the Vortex numerous times, and it's really great at rotisserie chicken and roast and things, which hopefully this one will be just as good. One thing that I noticed that I didn't like is the fact that, and I was hoping they would change it, the little forks at the end, it comes with 2 of them, only have 2 tines. Now with better rotisserie ovens, you know, ones that are made for rotisserie, they'll have like 4 or more tines, and that can like really hold the food together, especially when it's like chicken or something that's not balanced as well. And I found doing rotisserie chicken and different meat in the Vortex that only having the 2 tines at the end could be a little cumbersome. Now once you've done it a couple of times, it becomes really easy and it's not that hard to get it so that it's balanced correctly. But I was hoping that with the Omni and the upgraded one, it would have a better fork at the end. Also, the rotisserie tines go on exactly the same way as the Vortex. You thread it into the tines and then you use the little screw to screw it down. Now, what you will notice though with the rotisserie is that it doesn't have the rotisserie basket like the Vortex does. This one doesn't have the enclosed basket. Instead, it has a standard air frying basket, kind of like the Emerald one or the Breville. you know, where you would just lay the food in there to air fry, and it allows for the airflow, but it doesn't have the basket, which, you know, that's kind of a bummer. I really liked it, but, you know, hopefully this will work just as well. The next accessory is the oven rack, and it looks kind of like your standard toaster oven rack that fits in, and I guess this would be really great for, you know, using toast or things like that where you want to heat it from above and below. And then the last accessory that comes with it is this solid baking tray. And so this tray is not stainless steel. I assume that maybe it's Teflon or something like that. And I know that there were a lot of people who didn't like that about the Vortex, that it had the coated trays. However, since this is just a baking tray, and because the Omni is much bigger, you could probably find stainless steel or aluminum trays that'll fit this much easier instead of having to use this one. Of course, the Omni also comes with a user's manual and the safety manual. One thing I don't like about it that I can see off the bat is, just like with the Vortex, they really don't have a lot of information. Now, with the Vortex, they did come out with an online PDF version, and that one is more in depth and it's a great user manual, and I'm assuming that they'll do the same thing with the Omni. But that's one thing that I would have Instapot change, if y'all are listening, is if they would just put in a really good manual to begin with, that would be really helpful. Now, on first glance with the Omni, you can tell that it's much bigger than the Vortex, and it's all stainless steel, which is really important, especially on the inside. The inside doesn't have, like the Vortex does with the plastic rotisserie knob, this one has a stainless steel knob. Also, the door is really easy to open. It's nice and wide, and it closes really well. There's no latches or anything to catch or anything like that. One thing is that, unlike the Vortex, the door does not come off of the Omni, so you cannot take it off to clean it easily. So if that's something that's important to you, the Omni doesn't offer that. However, the Omni does have a drip tray that comes completely out, and this is stainless steel, so it's not Teflon coated. Either way, it's kind of nice that it comes completely out on the bottom, and it goes in really easy, just like that. So now, opening it up, again, you can see how much bigger it is. One thing that I really like about it is that it has the heating element on the top and on the bottom. So the fan is still on the top, just like the Vortex, but this has the heating element on the top and on the bottom, which is really great. So it acts more like a toaster, like a regular toaster oven, than the Vortex does. And I really like that, especially for toast, because I really miss not having a heating element to brown the top and bottom of things. One thing you'll notice on the door, which I think is really great, is it has some guides to show you where you can place the different trays depending on what you're cooking. So here it'll say it has a guide for the top position for broil, the middle position for air fry and toast, and so on. And that's a question that I got a lot when I was doing the videos and my blog for the Vortex, is where should you put the different trays depending on what you're cooking. And so this kind of gives you a guide to do that, and that's great. Now, when we open it up, I actually see that there's 4 different levels in where you can place the trays. So that's kind of nice, because then you can kind of interchange them depending on what you're cooking. What I love about the size of the Omni in compared to the Vortex is that it gives you a wider range of different baking pans and accessories that you can use, and you could use a lot more of the things that you would use in a regular oven. Now, just like the Vortex, the Omni, you can use any accessory that is oven safe. With the Vortex, and this is the standard Vortex tray, you could only fit 2 slices of bread, just about 2 slices of bread for toast. Whereas with the Omni, you can see that that will hold up to 6 easily with plenty of room. So you can toast a lot more things when it comes to the Omni than you can in the Vortex. So I've gone ahead and plugged it in, and what you'll first notice is that it has a really nice display. It's really bright and large, easy to read, and I really like that. Underneath, it displays the different modes, and we have air fry, toast, bake, broil, roast, reheat, dehydrate, and cancel. So that's what comes on when you first plug it in, and it doesn't make any noise, just like the Vortex. They say not to leave it plugged in when you're not using it. Sometimes I'll leave my Vortex plugged in, you know, if I'm going to be using it soon, you know, so I'll leave that up to you. Under the different knobs, so under temperature, it says F and C for Fahrenheit and Celsius. And what's really great, you know, you can choose whether you want it to display in Celsius or in Fahrenheit just by holding the knob in. for 3 seconds, and then it'll go ahead, beep, and it'll change. So this one changed to Celsius, and if you do it again and you hold it for 3 seconds, it'll change back to Fahrenheit. Under the time, it has the light function, and for that one, you're just gonna press the knob in once, and that'll engage the light, or you can turn it off. So now I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on by pressing the air fry mode. We'll start with that one. And when you press that, it'll have the temperature. You'll set that. That's fine, whatever. And then you can set the time. And again, I like the fact that it has the knobs because you can set the time a lot quicker than when you have the button. And then it'll come up to be a start, and you'll press the green start button. And then it'll show on and preheating right there in the corner, and that's showing you that it preheats. Now, also with some of the modes, air fry, I think bake, dehydrate, roast, they'll show the rotate button will light up, and that will give you the option to either engage the rotisserie to rotate or not. And if you want to turn that on, you just go ahead and press that. Now, another option that I really like that comes with the Omni is on some of the modes, for example, bake, when you turn that on and press start, it will give you the option where it says convect. And that gives you the option to either, if you press that, it'll make the fan turn high, or if you press it again, low. So that gives you the ability to control how fast the airflow is, and that's only on certain modes. So next I'd like to show you the toast function, because the toast function works very differently than the other modes, which is really something that makes the Omni very unique, especially compared to the Vortex. So when you hit toast, instead of giving you the regular display of temperature and time, what the toast function does is it gives you levels. So you can go from 1 all the way up to 6, kind of like a regular toaster oven or a toaster. But not only that, you can also change the time on each of the levels, and that gives you a lot more control over how you want your toast done when you're making toast in the Vortex. So what happens is sometimes if you're not really specific, it can dry out the bread. Whereas here with the Omni, this works more like a toaster oven where you have the bottom and the top heating element, but no fan. So that way you're getting a nice browning of the toast, but without drying it out. So here we have a direct side-by-side comparison of the Instant Vortex and the Instant Omni. And obviously the first thing that comes, that you'll notice is that the Omni is much bigger. It's much wider. Height-wise, they're about the same. The Omni is a little bit taller, but this one will definitely hold a lot more than the Vortex will. The Vortex has more of a plastic outside, whereas the Omni is, like we had said before, is completely stainless steel inside and out. Now, that could be a good thing because a lot of people really they preferred to have the stainless steel. But I will tell you that when the Omni, when the Vortex is turned on and it's cooking, even though it is hot and they tell you not to touch it, if you accidentally touch, which I have the top and the sides, you're not going to burn yourself. It's hot, but it doesn't get that bad. The Omni, however, gets very hot. You really cannot touch it, especially the sides and especially the door. Just like a regular toaster oven, it gets extremely hot. So that's about what you can expect when you unbox your new Omni. And if you have any other questions or ideas for videos coming up, you can leave them in the comment section. Or if you like my YouTube videos, I would love it if you would subscribe. So thanks for watching. Bye!